If you're from a non-EU country and you're thinking about moving to Spain or buying a property in Spain, this is the video for you. We will give you all the information about the legal side of things for non-EU residents to help make your move to Spain as smooth as possible. So our guest of this episode is Ignacio Pellicer from the lawyer's office Pellicer Heredia. Ignacio, it's amazing to have you here.
Thank you.
You know, like visas in Spain, people buying property in Spain, it's always a big topic. Like we were saying before, people from non-EU countries who want to buy a property here or want to live here, they need a certain visa, as well as people from the United Kingdom now after Brexit, of course, because for them changed a lot. You know literally everything about this, so I'm really happy to have you on here today to provide everybody with some of your knowledge.
Thank you.
To start out with, tell a bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. Well, thank you for inviting us. We are an independent law firm based in the Costa Blanca, Alicante. Our name is Pellicer Heredia. I know it's hard to pronounce. And we have a multidisciplinary team. We start from the immigration side, so international clients really need assistance from the very beginning, advising them type of visas. Then the taxation side as well is important. They ask you before coming over to Spain, and buying a property in Spain is the three legs, they are all together. We normally advise them from the very beginning when they are in their home countries. And we do a lot of video conference as well for them. So yes, we could start talking about the type of visas, the possibilities, and always using an independent lawyer when they need assistance to buy a property in Spain.
Exactly, because the type of visas, I mean, we know there's quite some options for people from non-EU countries when they're thinking about moving here or buying a property. What would you think are the main types of visas, and in what situations can people apply for these types?
Right. The type of visas that I will normally share with clients will be the non-lucrative visa if you don't want to be tied in a budget. Then you have the golden visa, which obviously the minimum investment is 500,000 euros in property. And then now these days we have the normal visa, which is a specific visa for those who come and work remotely in Spain. These will be the three most popular ones, but we still have a work visa as well. You could have a visa if your partner or husband or wife are Europeans, so it will be a European family member. What we call it reunification, family reunification, based on your partner or husband and wife being already a resident in Spain. So these are the most popular ones. The non-lucrative visa is very, very interesting for those who are retiring and they don't really need to spend the sort of money on a property. Or alternatively, you could go with a golden visa if you already have the budget of over 500,000 euros. And when you come with families, with children, and then you're working remotely, there is a lot of people doing that now. And plus, taxation point of view is very good because they will be only taxed in Spain as a resident 24% flat fee during the following 5 years. And all the family will get the same visa as the applicant. So these are the three types of visas, and everyone is very specific, but bottom line, you need a health cover in Spain. You need no criminal records. Then you need either the type of investment or money in the bank. For 1 year, a couple on a non-lucrative visa will need 34,000 euros per couple on an investment, not tied in investment. So plus your pension, but it's a mixture that we could work out whether is enough for the non-lucrative visa. On the other hand, the normal visa, you need to have confirmation from your company that you are allowed to work remotely unless you are self-employed, that you've got the option as well to get this visa, but probably self-employed, if they don't qualify with a specific type of job, they will not get the allowances or the specific tax regime.
Imagine you're from a non-EU country, you're thinking about moving to Spain or buying a property in Spain especially. You don't always need a visa, I would imagine, right?
Correct.
Can you explain a bit about that?
Right, if you come from a European country and then you're willing to be resident, become resident in Spain, what you will do, you will apply for the residency, but European residency card, what we call it here, is residency card, Spanish card of a European member of the European Union. So obviously the requirements of that is much softer, specifically on money side, and you don't need the criminal records. You need less money in the bank, so probably it's 9,000 euros sitting 3 months in a Spanish bank account or somewhere, but you need to prove that you came to Spain. So you register to the padron, money in place, health insurance, or if you're working, you've got the social security in order as well. So that's a very straightforward, or at least less stress, let's put it this way, to deal with it, less complications as well. So that applies to either any European member or if they are married or the partners of a European member.
Okay, and imagine I'm from a non-European country, I'm thinking about moving to Spain. Where do I start? Because we get that question often where people are like, oh, do I first have to find a property, then start applying, or do I have to start applying before? Or does it depend on the type of visa as well? Can you tell a bit about that?
It's a good question. Now, if they fall in love with, let's say, Javier, and they want to buy a property, then the beauty of it will be just trying to organize everything together. But it's really subjective, it's really depending on priorities. If you first want to go with a visa, you don't necessarily need, probably, but depending on the type of visa. If you're going for the golden visa, definitely we're going to need to buy a property. What I recommend in general terms is to use a firm that could represent you on everything, because it's quite stressful to do one immigration thing with one lawyer, then the conveyancing with another one, and then get into, everything should be on one roof just to have control of dates and times, You will start the process through the consulate in either UK, United States, non-European countries, okay? Any country of the world has a Spanish consulate, and you will need to start the application for some visas. For example, non-lucrative visa, you must start it from there. Golden visa, you don't have to, which I will prefer me representing you from here, because I deal with the Extranjería Foreign Office in Alicante, and that will make things easier because it's the consulate on one side and the Foreign Office, the Immigration Office in the other one. So if you do it from the consulate, it's double administration, and they rely everything on a third one, you see? Yeah. If you do it here, we could go ourselves, submit the papers, even speak to one, and get things more accurate. We always prefer doing it from here. But for example, non-lucrative visa, you wouldn't be able to do it from here. So you could, what I recommend, let's say we are having non-European clients, come here for a visit. Choose the property that you think it suits you best and it is the best for you. Then you could either decide and use an independent lawyer from here or going back and appointing from there. Organize power of attorney if necessary, and then put everything in motion. So start the conveyancing side, and depending on the type of visa, you could submit it from the day you have completed through your lawyer here. Now, power of attorney is very handy, especially if you are living in two countries, because you're not going to go back and forth all the time. And two, I recommend to have it in one roof as well, because, you could choose the one you like for immigration, the one for property is fine, but sometimes you need two things tied together. Right, for the non-lucrative visa, it wouldn't be necessarily a problem, but you need an address in Spain where you're going to live. So you might start from non-lucrative renting, and then you'll get your property built, or if it's a second-hand or resale, you already have that address, you have a contract. It's all mixture, you know, it's all mixed together.
And then also, I mean, the next question would be, you touched on it a little bit already in your what you were saying before. But what would be the main benefits of somebody to work with an immigration lawyer just like yourselves?
Right, well, the good thing is we could organize a video conference when they are still in their home country. Yeah. We could understand what is their situation to make sure which one suits best, what's the fastest, the easiest, the cheapest, you know, and the one they need. And I think the importance of using an immigration lawyer is having the knowledge of all possibilities, being able to contest resolutions if they disagree. We could appeal, we could represent them in court if necessary, we could advise accordingly. So we cover everything. We cover just the petition, the process, if necessary, the appeal. Yeah. So an immigration lawyer is very important because it's crucial. It's crucial to get things done properly and finally move on with your life in Spain.
Yeah, well, we as estate agents always recommend to our buyers as well to use a lawyer, because even though you might think that you can do it all alone, I mean, the legal system probably works a lot different than what you're used to in your home country. So it's just really important, as you're saying, to get one person that just arranges everything for you on top of it. So what would be the number one advice you could give to anybody who would be in that situation? You know, they're in a non-EU country, they're thinking about moving to Spain, and they want to start the process. What would be the number one advice you could think of? Right.
Well, the number one advice for those who are willing to move to Spain is choose the property of your dreams. And number two, have an independent lawyer to look into the situation of yourself. It is tied in because you need to know the whole package. You need to know whether this property is correct and whether the type of visas and everything are going to suit for this. So it's like a package. I recommend them to use a specialist, independent lawyers who can represent. I recommend them to do video conference if they're not here, and they ask for the whole process. So they have the whole picture of everything. Buying a property in Spain is safe, but you need to do things by the book. Doing the immigration side is not a problem, but you need to comply with all the requirements and do it perfectly. Otherwise, just one paper could destroy the whole application and you need to start all over again. And I recommend people having things organized from scratch, not doing the other way around, because that's a very stressful situation. I've just seen that situation happening, and it's stressful for the client, stressful for us, because you start on the other way around. But there is a good way to move to Spain. It's not a problem, but you need to do it properly. I'm really happy to have had you on here. I think you provided everybody out there with some great knowledge as well. And if you have another question for Ignacio, or you simply would like to get in touch with him, I will put the details down below in the description. And if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for any new videos we put out.